Hello everyone! I hope you're ready for another adventure, because today, Wayne continues to read Bunnicula, a rabbit tail mystery by Deborah and James Howell. Always remember that as we go along with these spooky stories, all you have to do is hit the CC button if you want to follow along with the adventure. Now, do you think that Madam Owl will return? You're correct. Hello, Madam Owl. Are you ready to see where this adventure goes? I'm excited too. Madam Owl is excited. So let's jump in. Chapter 7. A New Friend in Need. In the days that followed, Chester's behavior was exemplary. He purred and he cooed, and he cleaned his paws, and he rubbed up against everyone's leg to show how good of a boy he was. I was getting worried. Chester acts that way only when he has something devious in the back of his mind. But I don't know what that was. He had tried everything in the book to get rid of vampires, and all his efforts had failed. But I knew from the expression on his face that something was definitely up. Of course, I didn't know for certain because he had not spoken to me since the steak incident. I guess he realized that my heart just wasn't into the destruction of the bunny vampire. In fact, I was beginning to like the little fellow. The Monroes were relieved by Chester's improved behavior. They didn't know how to account for his strange doings, but, to their credit, they were willing to let bygones be bygones. The only disturbing factor in all our lives was the reappearance of white vegetables each morning in the kitchen. And yet, after a few days, even that stopped, and life returned to normal. One evening, I dropped by Bunnicula's cage to chat. I'd found myself doing that more and more since Chester had stopped talking to me. Of course, Bunnicula didn't talk back, but he was a good listener. I'd begun to think of him as a friend, a strange one granted, but one can't always choose one's friends. I was distressed this particular evening to see that he was dragging his ears, as it were. He looked tired and listless. His nose, and it seemed to be a little warmer than it should have been. I became alarmed. I ran over to Toby, who was doing a picture puzzle on the floor, and began to bark. Something I only do in cases of extreme emergency, since even I do not care to make a sound. "What's the matter, Harold?" Toby asked without moving. "Are there burglars?" I ran over to the cage and looked at Bunnicula. I looked at Toby and whimpered. Toby just looked confused. "Do you want to play with Bunnicula? Shall I take him out of the cage?" "Woof," I responded, indicating I'd hoped that was indeed what he should do. "I'll ask Mom and Dad, Harold. You should wait here." He was back in a minute, shaking his head. "I'm sorry, Harold. Mom says you can't play with the rabbit. It causes too much commotion." I regarded Bunnicula, whose eyes met mine. He gave a little shudder. I felt like crying. My friend was sick, and I didn't know what to do. I wished I could tell Chester. I knew it was no use. He was too mad at me. I would have to sort this one out on my own. That night, I couldn't sleep, worrying about Bunnicula. I decided to go downstairs and check his conditions. What I saw when I entered the living room horrified me. Bunnicula was out of his cage on the floor, while Chester stood in front of him, a piece of garlic around his neck, arms outstretched, blocking the kitchen door. Suddenly it all fell in place. Chester was starving Bunnicula. Of course, that's why he seemed so listless, and that's why the vegetables had stopped turning white. Chester had made it impossible for Bunnicula to eat. "Chester!" I cried. Chester jumped very high. "What are you doing down here?" he spat at me as he landed. "I know what you're doing, Chester, and the jig is up. That little bunny never hurt anyone. All he's doing is eating his own way. What do you care if he drains a few vegetables? He's a vampire," Chester snarled. "Today vegetables, tomorrow the world." "I think perhaps you're overestimating your case," I suggested cautiously. "Go back to bed, Harold. This is larger than the two of us. It may seem harsh, but I'm the only one being cruel to be kind." Who's he being kind to, I wondered, as I went back upstairs. The tomatoes, the zucchinis of the world, maybe a few cabbages. It just didn't make any sense. But I could see I wasn't going to get anywhere with Chester tonight. Tomorrow, however, would be another story, and I am determined that, by hook or by crook, my friend Bunnicula would eat by sundown the next day. Wow, so things are getting very interesting in Bunnicula, a rabbit's tale of mysteries. What do you think, Madam Owl? I'm really excited to continue soon. Hopefully, you'll be able to stop by for the next adventure, Madam Owl. See you next time. And we'll see you next time here with Wayne Reads. Thank you for stopping by, and we can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.